If you've ever been asked to lead a CEO succession plan or facilitate a C-suite team offsite or lead an organization-wide culture or even coach a CEO themselves, you've probably found there's not training for that. You certainly don't learn it in university, and you certainly can't find it in a normal coaching program. So I thought, why don't we create some masterclasses? I'm Katharine McLennan. I have over 30 years experience doing these kinds of things, both in-house as a chief people officer, but also advising from the outside. When I started, and certainly even 5 years ago, there was no training in this, no formats, no tools, no anything that I could call upon, and not even ChatGPT. And over the decades, I have assembled through ways of learning on the job and making sure I keep all the information so that I am now in a place that I can offer masterclasses that are aimed at coaching and facilitating and leading courses at the CEO and C-suite level. So why these courses now? The CEOs and the C-suite teams and the organizations are in a different phase. We have entered the AI age. We have left the information age. Things are not the industrial type of age that is the pyramid structures and the performance managements that give you a rating of 1 to 5. Organizations are asking for a smooth CEO transition. C-suite teams are asking to be more effective. The CEO and the chief people officer are looking for systemic ways to look at their culture and shape their culture. These courses that I've designed are called Masterclasses in the Design and Delivery of Leadership Programs for the C-suite. And there are 5 of them so far. The first one I'm going to launch is called Leading a CEO Succession Project. The second one is about coaching C-suite teams. The third one is about assessing and developing organizational cultures and reporting to the chief people officer and the CEO. The fourth one is about coaching the CEO, either from the internal or from the outside. And the fifth one is about becoming the kind of chief people officer that our HR legacy never prepared us for. One who brings financial acumen, psychological depth, system-wide design, strategic foresight, and boardroom influence to unlock ingenuity at scale in the AI age. For all of these 5 courses, I take you through even writing proposals. I've got templates, I've got structures. I help you put the project plan, steps of what you need all along, step by step. How do you actually determine the people that are going to be on your course? How do you actually assess them? Assessing at this level is an art, it's not a science. How do you pick the candidates that are going to be part of your succession pool? How do you actually develop them and on the way to becoming a CEO? How do you actually select them at the end and compare them against external candidates, for example? How do you then transition that CEO into their new position? And all the while, I teach you how to use templates that I've designed and share those templates with you. I've got questionnaires. I've got the ways that you can report, both summary executive reports and also reports to the board. I teach you how to present these to the board. I teach you the whole host of activities that you just simply won't learn in a course. And I work with you as you do your own project in this course. So it's a very hands-on template workshop work process that I share with you. And that is the first course, which is running a CEO succession project. The second course is coaching an executive team. And there's so much training out there on how do you run teams? How do you facilitate teams? What a team model is? Just tap into ChatGPT and it'll give you exactly what to do. But the difference with this course is I have been there for years and years doing it. I have specific ways that you can look at it. I can teach you hands-on what a team is and what it is not. My experience is that teams are not teams. They are groups of individuals. And it's interesting as you even go into writing the proposal, which I help you do, at looking at assessing executive teams, whether they are a team or not. That's the first question we even start with. Then I've got ways of interviewing all the team members, spending a lot of time with them, spending a lot of time one-on-one with the CEO, understanding the strategy of what this team needs to do before you even get to the facilitation workshop. Then I teach you ways of designing those workshops, whether they be 4 days offsite, whether they be 1 day offsite. And I help you design that and then always consult with the people that are coming with you. And that is a really important skill. I've got dozens of workshop designs that I share with you. I coach you along the way. It's not just about the classic leadership team facilitation program. It's about how do you facilitate strategy? How do you facilitate the execution? How do you actually facilitate the team's trust levels whilst you're doing that in the context of the strategy? How do you actually get the team to imagine a future that doesn't exist, which is getting more and more important in these days? These are techniques that can be sold, and I can talk to you about the stories of successes and failures that I have had in running teams and things that you just simply can't look up. And I work with you in the class as we all share stories about what we've learned and ask questions about how effective teams come together. So that's the second course, which is high impact executive teams and coaching for collective performance. The third course is then about organizational culture and is really about coaching the CEO and the chief people officer to look at their organizational culture in an analytical way, but also a creative way. And that's definitely not taught and not easily taught in any course that you can look up. It is an art that I've developed with a handful of people in Australia on how you assess a culture and then work with the teams within the organization to develop what you find. I can teach you with templates about how you propose such a project, how you actually assess culture across the organization, and it's a qualitative and quantitative art. And then how you report back, both either to a board or a CEO, and then how you actually start coaching to make that change across the culture. The fourth course is then about actually coaching a CEO. And there are thousands of coaching courses all around that you can get and coaching executives. That is easy to find. What's not easy to find is both the experience and some of the tools, and particularly the frameworks that I use in coaching CEOs. I've been doing it for a long time, and I want to share with you how you convince the CEO to work with you in the first place, but also start using strategic frameworks that actually take you through a year that you worked with the CEO, how to work with issues that come up that they want to talk about, but also how to work with them on coaching them with boards, how to work with them on setting the strategy, how to work with them on facing the market, on working with their teams. I share live stories. I share frameworks on how I assess those CEOs with them in partnership, and then how I develop a coaching curriculum.
And the fifth course is about becoming a true chief people officer, not the HR role most of us grew up in, but the redefined chief people officer we now need in the AI age. It's hard to find real guidance on how to step into this version of the role. This one that blends financial fluency, psychological depth, strategic partnership with the CEO, and board level influence. In this course, I'll walk you through the exact frameworks I've used with CPOs and HR leaders who were ready to lead from the top, from building talent capital strategies to shaping culture at scale to becoming the CEO's closest thought partner. We cover what legacy HR never taught us, but what the C-suite now demands.
What makes these different? They're not academic models. They're not courses that you can buy. They're based on my experience of over 30 years. They're based on the tools I've developed, the frameworks I've developed, but even most importantly, the stories I can share with you about these various topics, whether it's a CEO succession planning project or whether it's coaching the CEO's team, and in fact, any team below that, whether it's working on the culture or whether it's actually coaching the CEO. These courses are structured enough to follow. They are flexible enough to adapt to your situation. And that's why the classes are live, either live in person or live on video, because it's a lot about the discussion. You'll get many different types of material in between the classes and even videos that I'll make, but the classes are going to be really discussion, where I can listen to what your situation is and what your classmate's situation is, and we can share together what I have learned in these different 4 topics. I come with a strategy background, I come with an implementation background with huge projects that I've run, but most importantly, I have those years of coaching and facilitating both from the inside as a chief people officer myself, but also from the outside, working with many different industries.
So if this resonates with you, you'll find links below to everything you need. You can download the full course brochure, explore the curriculum, and watch a short introductory video for each of the 5 masterclasses, just to get a feel for the detail and style of each of them. If you're interested in enrolling, collaborating, or bringing this into your organization, I'd love to hear from you. My contact details are below as well. Please reach out. These are programs built for people like you, and now's the time to lead and coach and collaborate at the level our future demands.